Fortnite Island and Experience creators, get ready to revolutionize your island designs with a deep dive into UEFN's latest features. To access the new devices, go to the Content browser, and within the Fortnite folder, go to Devices, and open the new Early Access folder. In this folder, you'll find the Fixed Point Camera device, the Fixed Angle Camera device, and the Third-Person Controls device. Now that we have our camera set, let's talk about the new camera third-person controller. Simply putting down a camera device in your level will result in your player character always facing the same direction as the camera. The third-person control device attempts to capture player intent, allowing your character to move any direction and face targets. Depending on the type of game you're looking to make, you may need to calibrate the targeting logic to achieve the desired player experience. The best way to determine what feels right for your island is by simply playtesting it and having others playtest to get their feedback. The controller shares many of the general setting with the fixed angle camera device, with the only addition being interact distance. Interact distance represents the distance a player must be from something to interact with it. Many of the locomotion settings are fairly direct and straightforward, such as movement speed, rotation rate, rotate towards target, and so on. However, there are a few that are a bit more ambiguous, such as rotate toward target. When rotate toward target is enabled, the player automatically turns to face their target. Shooting locomotion movement speed refers to the movement speed while shooting in meters per second. Shooting locomotion rotation rate is the player's turning rate while shooting in degrees per second. Aiming locomotion movement speed determines the movement speed while aiming in meters per second. Scale weight by distance. This value sets the scale of a target's priority weight, reducing that priority based on the distance the target is from the player. If this is set to off, distance to target does not affect target prioritization. Scale weight by angle. This setting affects the prioritization of targets. As targets get closer to you, aiming at it becomes prioritized. Range targeting, if enabled, allows you to set specific parameters related to range targeting assistance for players. Range targeting distance determines the maximum distance targets can be from the player to be considered valid targets. Range targeting angle, depending on where the player is facing, the range in degrees where targets are considered valid. Aim targeting, if enabled, allow you to set specific parameters related to aim targeting assistance for players when they are using aim down sights. Aim targeting distance. This value determines the distance targets must be from the player to be considered valid targets. Aim targeting angle is the range in degrees where targets are considered valid, depending on where the player is facing. Aim targeting requires line of sight. This setting determines whether a clear line of sight is required for a target to be considered valid.